Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Saksapadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, elders, great millstone. Shalom to you, brothers and sisters, truth and sincerity across the four winds of the earth. And I want to just touch on this topic while another one that's in transit. On my way out to work, and it's a topic that I was thinking about last night, real deeply, thinking about the coming day of the Lord, and I was really thinking about the detail. Like, I was just thinking about the detail of it. Like, we know the coming of the Lord is going to be dreadful. It's going to be scary. There's going to be a lot of death, killing, destruction, and all this stuff is going to be going on. But I was really trying to think and be like, man, I was trying to picture it. And obviously, you can only picture so much. But one of the main things that I was thinking about is, I was imagine, being here at the bottom, and you being on the opposite side of the Lord, as you're receiving the anger and the fury that He's coming back to judge this place with. And even right now, on this drive, looking at the sky, I'm looking at the sky, and I'm trying to picture. It's like, because the as just described, the Lord's chariot, as a mountain, pretty much. Yeah, but He couldn't, he said if it was a mountain, I would have seen the place that that it came from, but I couldn't. It's because it wasn't a mountain; it was His chariot. And just looking at me looking at the sky right now, and right now I'm in a pretty open area, to where you see nothing but just grass, mountains, and the sky, and how big that chariot that He's gonna come back in, along with all the other thousands and thousands of chariots. The whole sky is completely gonna be filled, man. It's gonna be something that the earth, the time that's coming. We talk about Jacob's trouble, which is the time the earth has never been, He never foreseen. But everything after that too is the time that the earth has never foreseen. When World War III starts happening, when they start shooting missiles, tsunamis, tidal waves, mountains, and islands are gonna be sunk and moved out of position, and a lot of stuff is gonna be happening, man. And you can just imagine the sound. That's what I was thinking about. The chariots are gonna come back and they're gonna be zapping buildings, zapping people out of buildings, zapping people from buildings. The buildings falling, tumbling over, and then your fleshliness, just us being in this flesh, and I'm speaking like other nations and 2/3 of Jacob. Just because if you're not in them chariots, man, if you're not in the air, you're gonna be hearing, seeing, people gonna be screaming, buildings gonna be toppling over, the earth is gonna be shaking. You're gonna be seeing chariots going in and out of portals and doing all types of things, man, that you've never seen before. I was really sitting there, really just meditating on that. I was just like, man, you do not want to be not in the chariot in that day. That's going to be a bad time, man. That's going to be a bad time. These people are getting ready to see some stuff that they would never thought that they would see in their lives, man. 2/3 of Jake, us, the heathen, if we make it to that point, Lord willing. Like, we're about to witness something that the earth is something magnificent. It's going to be beautiful at the same time. Because the Lord is coming back to get his people up out of here, man. And he's going to do that with violence. He's not coming down to make a contract with Esau and plead and beg and debate tables. And no, man. He's coming back to put down his, put his authority down, man. To put an end to this. So I can, as a young, he's coming down, to put an end to all this wickedness. And it's not going to be pretty, man. People think, especially these Christians and other people think, when the Lord comes back, they think that, he's coming back and unite everybody and hug, give everybody a pat on the back, and here you get this $50 Walmart gift card, and I brought you a $100 one. And no, man. You have the wrong idea. We'll say that. So you have the wrong idea on what the Lord is actually coming back to do. And just to know that something like this is happening, it's getting ready to happen. Is obviously a blessing itself, because everybody doesn't understand this information. Everybody doesn't understand this truth. The scripture hasn't, revealed, itself to everybody, which is the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, which gives you, the spirit to understand the truth, understand, the words, break down the prophecies, go into these things. Everybody doesn't have that. And the fact that, you people are the people of the world buck up against the people, speaking of the Israelites, 2/3 of Jacob. We're not concerned with other nations, we're not concerned with 2/3 of Jacob. But the fact that you people buck up against the people that have this knowledge, that's life-saving knowledge, by the way, the living waters, and you find a way to come against, the people that obviously the Lord is dealing with and sent to give you the message before the things come to pass, man. And the fact that you have a problem with it because you don't think the Lord can be dealing with somebody like the people that he's dealing with. But that's because you just don't understand the Lord. So the Lord uses the weak.
In about 10 miles, turn left onto Hodden Road.
This scripture in 1 Corinthians. Is it the 1 Corinthians 1 or 2 Corinthians 1, like 20-ish? Somewhere around there. But I want to get the scripture. It's Amos. (5 and 18). It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you?" Right? And it's people that desire. Well, if you wait for the Lord to come back, you wait for Jesus. Oh, yeah. But little do you know, Jesus isn't coming back. Yahweh Shai is coming back. And you're not going to want to, if you're not right, you're not going to want him to come back. Because he's about to put, because you're going to be on the receiving end of that stick, man. That whooping stick. That big hurt that the Lord is about to put on this place, man. So it says, what end is it for you? Okay, it's locked in. I didn't even know that it was connected to the Bluetooth thing. I know the audio is gonna sound a little wacky for the first half of that video, but then it's gonna clear up. Hopefully it clears up now. I turned off the Bluetooth. Forgot that was even connected. It says, "The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." right? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. And what people don't understand is the severity of the times that we're living in. Because it's going to be, you can't just imagine. Esau's not going, the technology and the power that the Lord is coming back with is nobody is going to be able to stand against it. Nobody. The Lord is coming back as an angelic being, limitless, and He's coming with the army of heaven, man. What the hell is Esau going to be able to do? Esau's not going to be able to take down one chariot. It's going to be a flawless KO. You know, on Tekken, when you get a fight and you don't get hit, man, when you finally get that last bit of health from that dude, and they say perfect. That's how it's gonna be with the Lord, man. Perfect. You ain't gonna put a dent, scratch, nothing, man. You're not taking down one chariot. It's about to be a perfect, flawless victory, man. And how scary it's gonna be. You can just imagine people gonna be running, trying to hide under stuff, and the chariot's gonna. Just imagine that. I was really just trying to. Obviously, we can't picture it, but imagine you standing next to somebody and the sound, the sight, even the smell. Because Esdras talked about how the multitude, that was fighting against the Lord, nothing was to be perceived but smoke. Just that quick. People got guns, ARs, rocket launchers, tank in the tank, and then literally less than a second of dust. All that flesh, skin, bone, powdered out. Can you imagine what that would look like? Obviously, we see this stuff in movies, but that's not going. We're talking about real life. This is real life. This is getting ready to take place in real time, man. Imagine the sounds, the crumpling, the earth shaking, and just all the, man. And I was really just thinking about that heavy. I was just like, I can't imagine. I just hope I'm not on the receiving end, man. I want to be up there with the Lord in the chariots, the angels, safe from all this, man. Watching it from afar. Because people are going to be, oh man, it's like I can't even put everything into words of what I was just visualizing. It's just like the Lord, man, the Lord is about to work, man. People think everything's all games and shits and giggles, man, but you're about to see, man. Second Esdras 13. We're gonna start at verse 1. And it came to pass, after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. All right, and the scripture also talk about how the people, in the days to come, people's hearts are going to fail, which is going to be what? People will be having heart attacks. you can imagine. I can see that. Old people, young people, they're gonna be seeing chariots zap people, and buildings gonna be toppling over. You're gonna be seeing people just turning to powder and legs being flying all over the place, and just there's all types of people gonna have heart attacks. That's why I said all the things trembled that we're seeing. Hold on, Slock. Let me just look at something real quick. I'm gonna check the map. Okay. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth fire. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a great multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. And who's this talking about? It's talking about Yahushua. It says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen, this is what I was talking about earlier, but I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. It's because it wasn't that. It was a chariot. And that's how big the chariot of the Lord is going to be, man. You see, and you can't just fathom what it's going to look like. Like I said, we get little references from, we could put, kind of stuff together what we read about it in the scriptures or what we see in movies and stuff like that. But in real time, we can't tell you what it's going to look like, how fast they're going to go, and the colors of them, and what it looks like on the inside. And we can't tell you that, what it's made out of. But we know they exist because that's how Yahushua left. Just like how the angels told, the disciples, why are you staring and gazing up in heavens? That same Yahushua that you've seen leave, he's just going to come in like manner. I'm paraphrasing that scripture. The same way he left is the same way he's going to come back with that chariot, man. And it says, verse 8, and it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. You see? Do you see that? And I actually want to look this up.
At the next lights, turn left.
Right, tempest. A violent, windy storm.
At the lights, turn left onto Hodgen Road.
It says storm, gale, squall, tornado, cyclone, typhoon, superstorm, cloudburst, rainstorm. Some type of storm, man.
In 3.3 miles, turn right onto Black Forest Road.
Disruption, commotion, uproar. Right? here we go. A tempest in a teapot. It says great anger or excitement about a trivial matter. See the origins of it. It says from the Old French, tempeste, from Latin tempestas. It says seasons, weather storm, from tempest time, season. So that means, let's see what this says. Tempest means in the Bible chaos. Okay, let's keep reading on that. Okay. It says, but only I saw that he sent out, I read that, verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. You see, an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived. All that tempest, the blast, fire, the stuff was mixed together, and what is that? Coming out of the chariots, them beams, lasers just zapping people. And you can imagine the smell. And that's the only thing that was perceived. A innumerable multitude. So you know it's thousands upon thousands upon thousands, and you can't number them. So many people. And nothing was to be perceived. And it ain't going to take nothing but a second to do that. Because the scriptures just say it's only going to take the Lord 1 hour, man. 60 minutes. So you can imagine how much violence and anger and fury the Lord is coming back with. It's not going to be pretty, man. So there's a lot more that I want to keep going, but getting closer and closer to my destination. Getting ready to clock it in, man. Clock it in on the plantation ship. So that's all I want to touch on. Like I said, I wanted to do more, but time is short right now. So that's it. So I hope the lesson was edifying. Hope you got some out of it. Want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. See you in another lesson, Lord willing.